American Express is changing their wording regarding the fine hotels and resorts credit with the American Express Platinum Card. There are new air taxis coming from United Airlines. And how much would you pay for a parking spot in San Francisco? We've got that and a lot more. This is a huge edition of the Weekly Pointers News Update. We have got a lot of stories to cover today. And if you're not familiar with the Weekly Pointers News Update, it's pretty simple. I just try to update you on all the information regarding credit cards, points and miles, travel, money, finance that you may have missed over the last week. And in case you're wondering, yes, I am on the road right now in Savannah, Georgia at the Andaz or Andaz, tomato, I don't know, but I've got 2 free night certificates and 15,000 points for Kayla and I to have a little long weekend getaway in Savannah, Georgia, and we are going to be doing a review of this property along with the surrounding area, so keep an eye out for that. It should also be worth noting that this is my vacation beard or lack of beard. This is what happens when I let it grow out for like 3 or 4 days. It's sad. So if you do find this video helpful or at least mildly entertaining, don't forget to be awesome. Give me a big thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications for alerts, and if you're interested in any of the cards mentioned in today's video, or any card for that matter, make sure you apply using the referral link down in the description below. That greatly helps support the channel, and I appreciate all of your support in doing that so far. With that said, we've got a lot of stories to cover. The topics are on one side of the screen. There's a timer down below, and there are timestamps down in the description as well, so if you want to skip along to any stories, feel free to do that, but we've got work to do. Let's go. American Express has added new anti-gaming language to the Fine Hotels and Resorts credit. The Fine Hotels and Resort credit, which is given free through the American Express Platinum Card, gives you $200 towards the room stay, but it also includes a unique amenity credit depending on the exact property that you're staying in. Last year, Kayla and I took a trip to Las Vegas, and we detailed exactly how we used these credits on our trip there. We also detailed the amenities that were available to us. And in that particular case, Kayla and I each, having the American Express Platinum Card, used our Fine Hotels and Resorts credit to book 2 different reservations. We checked in and we were able to keep the same room and just go back to back with our reservations and utilize our entire $200 each plus our amenity credit each. Now card members staying in the same room will be considered one stay, meaning you'll only get 1 amenity credit. So you can't double dip like we did. We were actually one of the first people to double dip with this. Now there has to be 24 hours between reservations. So a way to possibly get around this, and I don't know because we're going to have to see this in action, one possible way to get around this is number 1, to not check in together and be willing to switch rooms. So if you and your spouse are traveling, for example, I'm just throwing out ideas, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but have her check in with 1 reservation and don't even show up with her to the front desk, and then check out, and then the next day you go in and check in, and just be willing to move rooms. The other thing is, because there is 24 hours required in between reservations, if you're doing a 3-night stay, it could be possible that one of you could book the first night, and then the second night could be on whatever you want to use to pay for the room, and then the third night you could have another reservation using the Fine Hotels and Resorts credit and get that amenity as well, since there's a 24-hour day in between. Again, we won't know until we see this in action. There's a lot of theories and thoughts around this, but if you're planning on using the Fine Hotels and Resorts credit, let me know if this impacts your travel. It certainly impacts ours. It's a minor inconvenience if we have to switch rooms, but it's not the end of the world. I'll take an extra amenity. I'm not complaining, but let me know what you think down in the comments below. The summer travel season has been very chaotic with airports, to say the least. There has been countless stories of flights being delayed, being canceled, and everything in between, and now we have an exact list of the airports that had the most delays and the most cancellations between Memorial Day and Labor Day 2022. So let's run through the list and hit the highlights. First, if we're just looking at flight delays, Chicago Midway Airport at 37.7%. Holy cow, that is a lot. Followed by Baltimore, Orlando, JFK Airport, Harry Reid Airport in Las Vegas, and Newark Airport as well, and then you can see the following list down there for the remaining 10. Moving on to the highest percentage of flights canceled, Newark shows up again at a 6.7% rate of cancellation. So between the cancellation and the delays, Newark is definitely not going to be at the top of my list to fly through anytime soon. Then you've got LaGuardia, Reagan, Raleigh, Durham, Cleveland, and then an airport that I travel out of actually quite a bit, Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Airport. It's a pretty small airport. It's convenient to fly out of. It had a 2.9% rate of flight delays. So let me know if this list computes with what you've seen in your travel over the last year. It's been chaotic, to say the least. There's been fights at the airport. People's times are getting changed. It's been absolutely crazy. Let me know your experience down below. And Newark, you got to pick it up. It's not good to show up on both of those lists. Florida-based cruise line Margaritaville at the Sea is making it easier for a lot of people to take a cruise for free. As part of the Heroes Sail Free program, Margaritaville at the Sea is offering 1 free cruise fare to the Bahamas. Now these cruises leave from Port of Palm Beach to Freeport, Grand Bahamas, and again, these are 3-day 2-night cruises. And this is a way for Margaritaville to be able to thank people that are really at the front lines of making a difference in the world. I mean, we all make a difference to some degree, but this is for the people that are sacrificing a lot in order to make the world a better place. And a lot of times it's just good to just kick your feet up and say, you know what, I'm going to take a couple of nights and relax. Margaritaville at the Sea is definitely doing something good here. I'm really excited about this. So this may not necessarily directly impact you, but if you know anybody that's active military, a veteran, a teacher, firefighter, police officer, or EMS, let them know about this because this is a free cruise. Of course, it's going to be subject to availability, but hey, it's a free cruise. I wouldn't complain too much. Make sure you share this information with folks in those areas and thank them for their service. Let's say you're going on a really long flight. How much would you be willing to pay to have the seat next to you remain empty? Well, Qantas is trying to find that out. According to Travel and Leisure, Qantas is piloting a program on about half a dozen domestic routes for 6 weeks to see if people are willing to pay money to keep the seat next to them empty. Now, these costs range from $20 to $33, and again, this can vary a little bit. The process for doing this is actually pretty simple. So if you selected a seat and the flight isn't fully booked, then you'll receive an email invitation 48 hours before takeoff asking if you'd like to pay to keep it empty. After paying, the seat is yours unless the flight does fill up, and if that is the case, you will get refunded and the flight will just fill up as normal, but it at least gives you the option to pay to have that seat next to you empty. So if you're wanting some more elbow room, you want some room to set out all your candy or electronics, or you just don't want somebody drooling or laying over you or somebody smelly next to you on the plane, I know it's kind of goofy, but you can now pay on Qantas to do that on these particular routes. So let me know, what would you be willing to pay to keep the seat next to you from being filled? I'm curious what the U.S. market would have to say about this, and this may spread to other airlines. That's why I'm bringing it up. But let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. United Airlines has just made a pretty big announcement regarding electric air taxis. What are those exactly? Let me dig in. So United is doubling down on electric air taxis with a new $15 million investment in Embraer-backed startup Eve Air Mobility. So this carrier has agreed to buy 200 four-seat electric aircraft with options for 200 more. The first deliveries are expected as early as 2026, and this $15 million investment was just the kickstart to get that going. So the motors can run 90% quieter than current aircraft. They have a range of about 60 miles. And the way that this is going to work is there'd be one pilot and there can be up to 4 passengers. The thought behind this is that this could be a very convenient way to get people from airports to a city center. And it's really easy to do because there's a vertical takeoff and a vertical landing, so there's no long runway needed. These aircraft will be able to pick up and pop and land right where they need to be. So this could be pretty convenient. We don't know what the cost is going to be on this quite yet, but I've always been interested in this. Let me know what you think about this. I mean, United is making a lot of investment into green technology. This is going to run off motors that are going to be significantly quieter than what's available right now. And I got to give United credit. They're really pushing the limits in several areas. They've talked about supersonic flight as well, solar powered flight, and a lot of stuff in between. So they're really pushing the boundaries of what can be done in the airspace. But let me know what you think about seeing these air taxis floating around the skies, or flying around the skies, I should say. I think it's a unique idea. I think it's inevitable at some point that we're going to move towards this, but let me know if you would get on one of these, or if you want to wait and see how they work out first. Leave that down in the comments below. HBO Max is offering a 40% discount when you pay up front for an entire year. This story is pretty simple. Like I just said, 40% off if you prepay for a whole year, and this is for new subscribers and returning subscribers. So if you've had HBO Max in the past and you've thought about returning to it, now may be the time to jump on board. I absolutely love it. I'm a Game of Thrones guy, so anytime I can watch a bunch of Game of Thrones episodes, it's a good day for me. This deal runs until October 30th, and just to give you an idea of the pricing, the current pricing is $149 for the ad-free version of HBO Max. That's now going to be moved down to $104, and then the ad-supported version was $99. Now it's going to be $69. So that's a pretty significant savings. I think HBO Max is one of the best streaming services. The interface is great, the streaming quality is great, and the amount of shows available is absolutely awesome. So let me know if you have HBO Max, if there are a lot of people that are waffling on if they want to do this or not. If you have the service, leave your experience down in the comments below. Let others know what you think. Real estate in California and San Francisco in particular is really high. In fact, it's so high that there's now a parking spot being listed on Redfin for $90,000. This particular parking spot is part of a condo complex located on Townsend Street in San Francisco, and right now it's currently leased for $300 per month, and it's open to residents and non-residents. So if a non-resident does buy the spot, they won't have access to the areas where people live in the condos. And according to the representative, what makes this parking spot unique is there are no rules that specify only residents can use it. So this is really unique. Even if you don't live in the condo complex, you could still buy this parking spot and then lease it out for even more money. Parking is becoming a premium in that area. But $90,000, oh my goodness, how much would you pay for a parking spot, in particular a parking spot in California? Now supposedly this is convenient to a lot of shopping, one of the ballparks as well, so if you're a big sports fan that could come in handy. But I don't know, it seems like a lot of money. Maybe you'll get your return on investment later on. But let me know if you have the appetite to pay $90,000 for a parking spot. I don't. Also, make sure you use your Chasing Business Preferred to get that 3 times on travel, because parking's included in that. I'm sure that'll be covered. Not. And if you're familiar with the Weekly Pointers News Update, you know that I like to end the show on a really good food deal, and this week is absolutely no exception, and this week we are going to Arbys. So right now, when you sign up for the email list for Arbys Deals, you'll receive a free classic roast beef sandwich, plus you'll receive 5 more offers after you redeem your first deal weekly. And those include things like free small fries with purchase every Tuesday, $5 off $20 plus each weekend. And this offer expires December 31st, 2022. Hey, I like Arbys. I'm a fan of it. I'm rarely disappointed when I go there. Let me know if you plan on taking advantage of this promo down in the comments. Well, that was a fun episode. I really enjoyed this one. We covered a wide range of topics. I'm really interested on the American Express Fine Hotels and Resorts credit, if this is going to impact anybody's travel. I think this is a pretty big deal and could be an inconvenience for a lot of people. Also, let me know what you think about these air taxis from United Airlines. I think it's a really unique concept and something that's probably been overdue for a long time. I probably won't be one of the first people on them because that would make me a little bit nervous. Maybe I'll wait till the technology settles out a little bit. But let me know if you're willing to hop on board one of these things. I think it would be interesting to hear. And then also, how much would you pay for a parking spot in California, especially those of you that live in California? I know we have a lot of California residents that watch this channel, so let me know your thoughts on this, and how much have you actually paid to either lease or buy a parking spot? I'm curious to hear what you have to say. Also, if you're interested in any of the cards mentioned in today's video, or any card for that matter, make sure you use the link down in the description below. That greatly helps support the channel, and I really appreciate all of your support in doing that so far. If you found this video helpful or mildly entertaining, don't forget to be awesome. Give me a big thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications for alerts, and when you click on the Brandon Boyd Show, click, you're going to get the latest information on credit cards, points and miles, travel, money, finance, Arbys deals, and everything in between. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. We'll see you soon.